Both Lewis basketball teams played their final home games of the regular season over the weekend, and the swim teams competed in the GLVC championships. We'll have the latest in Lewis athletics coming up right now.
Hello and welcome to Flyer Nation, your source for the latest news in Lewis athletics. Thanks for joining us here on LUTN and online. I'm Shane Gustafson.
And I'm Natalie Budig. Joining us later on in the show is Lewis head softball coach Becky Pearl. She'll talk about the start of the season coming up, as well as what she expects from her first year on the team.
We'll also talk with Greg Petty from the men's volleyball team. He'll talk about the success of the season so far, as well as this weekend's big games against Penn State. But before we get to that, let's take a look at some other Flyer sports headlines. After starting the season with 23 straight wins, the #1 Lewis women's basketball team lost to another nationally ranked team last Thursday night. The ladies welcomed the #17 Drury Panthers to the Neal Carey Arena and looked to keep their perfect record intact. However, the Flyers found themselves down by 12 at the half and continued to put up a fight. The Panthers knocked down a pair of three-point baskets in the final few minutes to put themselves ahead and eventually take the game 75-72. The ladies hosted Missouri S&T on Saturday for the final home game of the regular season. The ladies used their defense to their advantage in the game, holding the Miners to just 19 points at halftime. The Flyers continued that success on offense and eventually picked up the 65-49 victory. Lewis head women's basketball coach Lisa Carlson said the defense played a key in the victory.
We've talked a lot about defense in the last couple of days and making sure that we understand how important it is going forward, and I thought our kids did a nice job on that end of the floor, even when we struggled at times offensively.
The team is back in action this Thursday night on the road against Illinois Springfield. The ladies have clinched a spot in the GLVC championship tournament.
After fighting to hold a top 5 spot in their division, the Lewis men's basketball team clinched a GLVC tournament berth over the weekend. On Thursday night, the men welcomed Drury to the Neal Carey Arena and played strong defensively. The men held the Panthers to just 31% shooting from the field and used their offense to stay ahead. Freshman Max Drews led all scorers with 19 points in the Flyers' 76-52 victory. On Saturday, the men welcomed Missouri S&T to the Neal Carey Arena and looked for another victory. The men played strong through the first 20 minutes and led by 19 points at the half, thanks to strong play from senior Jeff DeRose, who led the team with 19 points. The Flyers picked up the 77-64 victory. After the game against Drury, head men's basketball coach Scott Trost said the team is continuing to get better even this late in the season.
And Drury's good. They're awful difficult to defend, but I thought we did an unbelievable job on Bundy and Adams. Made it really difficult for them. But overall, really good performance. I thought Kyle Nelson probably played his best game of the year. Played outstanding. I thought, we had a lot of great performances, Max and Jack and Ja. I mean, there was a lot of guys. So, I think we're playing better, we're playing well, and a good time to be playing well.
The men only have 3 games left in the regular season and are back in action this Thursday night on the road against Illinois Springfield.
The #2 Lewis men's volleyball team continued conference play on the road last week when they traveled to Indiana to take on Ball State. The first set of play between the Flyers and Cardinals was close, with the Flyers pulling off a 3-point victory. However, the men dominated throughout the next 2 sets thanks to 17 kills from redshirt senior Jeff Powell and 8 kills from senior Greg Petty. The men swept Ball State 3-0. The men looked to play their first conference game at home on Saturday night against IPFW, but heavy snowfall in Fort Wayne, Indiana prevented the Mastodons from making their way to the Neal Carey Arena. The makeup date for that game is to be determined. The men are back in action on Friday night in a non-conference match between Penn State that's scheduled to start at 7 o'clock.
The #9 Lewis women's track and field team finished strong over the weekend, taking the first place spot at the Chicagoland Championships hosted by North Central College. Sophomore Amanda Farrell won the 1-mile run with an NCAA provisional time of 4 minutes, 57 seconds, and 48 milliseconds. Senior Rebecca Priestler tied for first place in the pole vault competition with an NCAA provisional showing of 3.78 meters. Junior Chantel Stennis won the 400-meter dash with an NCAA provisional time of 56.19. The #10 men's team finished second in the Chicagoland Championship. Head coach Dana Schwartzing said that the team had some good national marks. Senior Kevin Dorncamper took first in the 60-meter hurdles. Senior Andrew McLean took first in the 3,000-meter run. Junior Adam Barr registered a first-place throw in the weight throw competition. And Junior Isaac John Paul took first in the high jump competition. Both teams returned to North Central this weekend to participate in the Cardinal Classic.
Both swim teams competed in the GLVC Championships in Crawfordsville, Indiana over the weekend. The number 19 men's swim team finished the championships in 4th place overall, but picked up several individual awards as well. Sophomore Brian Jacobs finished in 2nd place in the 1650 free, and sophomore Brian Weiner came away with the 2nd place finish in the 200 backstroke and finished just a second behind the 1st place winner. The Flyers also finished in 2nd place in the 400 free relay. The number 24 women's team finished the championships with a 4th place overall finish, but had success individually as well. Junior Shelby Leonard finished in 2nd place in the 200 backstroke and finished in 3rd place in the 200 free relay. The season is over for both swim teams, but a few individual swimmers may be selected to compete in the NCAA National Championships.
Over the weekend, the Lewis University's women's tennis team began their spring season. On Saturday, the Flyers took on the University of Chicago but fell 6-3. Freshman Nora Mindayorova and sophomore Anna Bannock paired up for an 8-6 win over Chicago. While this was a non-conference matchup, Chicago is ranked 12th in the ITA Division III national rankings. Assistant coach Uno Lapima said that the team gave a good effort, but that they just came up short. The Flyers will be back in action on Monday to take on Walsh for a regional matchup. First serve is set for 9 p.m. at the 5-Star Tennis Center. All right, well, basketball season is coming to a close, but it's good to see that both teams are, continuing their success, and, even the men's team, they're picking up some good wins. Yeah, absolutely, and both teams have a spot in the GLVC Championships tournament coming up, so good to see them doing well and advancing to the postseason. Absolutely. Well, when we come back, we'll talk with Lewis head softball coach Becky Pearl. Stay tuned.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills.
Check.
Driver's license.
Check.
And a high school diploma or GED.
Skip the drama. Get your GED.
I got that.
You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future and sign up for free classes now at yourged.org.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Welcome back to Flyer Nation. The temperatures outside may only be in the single digits, but that won't stop the Lewis softball team from starting their season this weekend. The team is continuing their tradition of hosting the D2 Dome Invitational in Rosemont, but has a new head coach and staff in the dugout. Joining us now to talk about these first few games as well as her first season coaching the team is Lewis head softball coach Becky Pearl. Thanks for joining us today, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Not a problem, and welcome to Lewis University.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we mentioned that this is your first season here at Lewis University. You spent 10 years at Judson University up in Elgin. I guess what made you decide to make the move from Elgin and come here to Romeoville?
To be honest with you, Lewis has been my goal, where I've always seen myself going. It was pretty much the only school that I knew I wanted to try for if I were to leave Judson, especially after 10 years. You know, you've kind of built a tradition, you know what to expect there, what's going on. So really, as soon as the job opened up, I knew it was kind of my time to try for it, and then it brought me here.
So the Lewis softball team has always been looked at as one of the better programs in Division II softball. I guess, how do you plan to add to the past success and take that into the future?
Really, for me, hard work is the name of my game. And so I try to really instill that into our athletes here at Lewis. And you know, the staff and myself, Mimi, we've been working hard behind the scenes, and then once you get into practice, just trying to make sure that they're prepared and ready to play hard all the time.
You mentioned Mimi Ramirez. She's your new assistant coach. You are coming in and replacing former head coach George DiMatteo, who coached here for 31 years. How do you and your assistant coach Mimi Ramirez help make the coaching transition easier for the players? A lot of them played under Coach DiMatteo,
right.
Now have to start a new season with a new coach. How do you
right.
make that transition? Well,
Coach George had obviously a rich tradition over the 31 years, and so really just pouring ourselves into them and working on a lot of team chemistry, team bonding. Communication is the name of the game, so making sure that they understand what we're expecting out of them, you know, what we expect, what we want them to do, and really just keeping that office door open, letting them come in and talk to us and really get to know each other.
So let's talk about the season for a little bit. Starting this weekend, as I mentioned, in the Dome in Rosemont. How important are these first few games of the season to set the tone for the rest of the season?
I think they're really important for us because we are, you know, such a new team under a new staff. You know, not a new, obviously Lewis has that tradition, but a new team with a new staff. 6 new freshmen, everybody trying to get to know each other. So really, you know, going into this Dome, hoping to show our best and put our best foot forward. 5 big games, really want to do well and just compete. You know, make sure that we're hustling and doing all the little things.
So at the end of last season, the team advanced the GLVC championships. It looked like they weren't going to make it, but they did. You obviously weren't a part of that team, but how do you take the final push from the end of last year and bring that into this year?
To be honest, we've really capitalized on just the newness of everything. So we listen to what has happened in the past, we use what has happened in the past to educate us, but really just focusing on a new team, a new staff, and the new things that we can do together to just put a great team out there every day that's working hard.
So you talked earlier about the 6 freshmen on the team, but you also have 7 seniors on this team. How are they and the rest of the upperclassmen going to, I guess, help form those 6 new freshmen?
You know, they've been doing a great job. They not only help form the freshmen, but they help kind of let Mimi and I know, you know, the little things that we can make everybody a little more comfortable, a little more at ease, so they're not just guessing every day, oh boy, what is this new staff bringing to us? So they've been a huge help, great group of girls. I mean, overall, the whole team has been very welcoming and excited about the new staff coming in, and so that's been very reassuring and really made it a good mesh, an easy transition to kind of bring us all together.
So we talked about the games coming up this weekend at the Dome in Rosemont, but after that the team travels to Evansville, Indiana for a couple of games and then a spring break trip to Florida. That has to be a nice break from this frigid cold weather. How do you see that trip to Florida helping the team, I guess, build a sort of team chemistry?
It's exactly how I see it. Those week-long tournaments over spring break are always a huge team bonding experience. You try to keep them together as much as possible. Really work hard on the field, but also off the field, work hard on that time to bond and be a team and prepare us for the rest of the season. It's definitely a key component.
So like we've mentioned pretty much this whole interview, the team starts the weekend in Rosemont. What can Flyer fans expect to see from the team if they come out to catch one or two of those games? A
lot of hustle and a lot of passion. We really have just been pouring it out there, and I think that it'll be exciting to see just how dedicated they have been in this off-season and dedicated to the new regime that's going on.
All right, well, Coach, anything else you'd like to add while you're here today?
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited, and I'm excited to see the girls play and their hard work pay off.
All right, well, not a problem, and good luck this weekend up in Rosemont.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk with Greg Petty of the men's volleyball team. Stay tuned.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just,
Please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with dachshund breeding.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Welcome back to Flyer Nation. The #2 Lewis men's volleyball team started conference play 2 weeks ago with 2 wins against Grand Canyon. The team took that success on the road last week with a win against Ball State. While the men might be doing well in conference play and hold a #2 national ranking, the team will face a challenge this weekend against non-conference Penn State. Joining me now to talk about this game as well as the season so far is senior outside hitter Greg Petty. Thanks for joining us today, Greg.
Thank you for having me on, Shane.
Yeah, not a problem. So as I mentioned, the team started conference play a couple of weeks ago, 2 wins against Grand Canyon, win last week against Ball State, holding a #2 national ranking. I guess what's going so well for the team right now?
Really, it's all the seniority. We've got 8 seniors on the team. We've been playing really well, and we actually started off a lot better in preseason than we have in the past couple of years. So it's really just everyone knows each other, everyone gets along really well, we're really good friends off the court, so it's really just the whole team atmosphere. And like I said, we've got a lot of experience too, so that's a huge positive for us so far.
So like we said, a #2 national ranking that the team currently holds, bouncing around from #2, #3. Is that national ranking something that the team thinks about often, or is that something you guys just kind of put in the back of your head and go out and play the game?
I mean, it's definitely something that we think about every once in a while because it's a huge thing for us to actually have that. But we definitely try. We say every single day in practice, like with coach and everything, to try and just put it in the back of our mind because realistically, yeah, the ranking's a great honor and a great thing to have, but it's really the end of the year is what we want, and we want that #1 hopefully at the end of the year.
So we talk about starting conference play. All of the conference games so far have been on the road, though. Grand Canyon, Ball State. Scheduled to play a conference game here on Saturday against IPFW, but it got canceled due to snow in Indiana. How does that affect the team having a game scheduled, getting ready for the game, and then not having it?
I mean, it's kind of a letdown as well, especially for me, I think, because we were all pretty much ready to go. We were all psyched up and ready to play them because IPFW is always a really tough match whenever we play them. So it was kind of a letdown, but it was also a good thing because then it gives us really another day of rest, which really we kind of needed, especially with, like you said, the couple of road matches to start off for conference and everything, and that's a really tough start for conference. So it's just going to be rough when we try and input it back into the schedule later on.
So coming up on Friday, it's a non-conference game, but it's a big one. It's against Penn State. We're doing all kinds of extended pregame stuff here on LUTN, trying to get students and fans involved. I guess what's the mindset of the team going against Penn State here at home?
I mean, I think for me personally, I know it doesn't really change, but I think it's everybody knows it's Penn State. It's a big team, and we know that we beat them at their place in 4. They had a really rough start to their season, but they have a lot of good players. Like Aaron Russell is one of the best outsides in the country, and we know that they're going to play well. It's just really, we just need to worry about the things on our side. It's pretty much the same as any other match.
So let's talk about you for a couple of minutes. You're a senior on this team. You came here after playing at Downers Grove North High School, graduated the same year as I did from DGN. And your brother was playing here, Jay was playing here when you graduated. Did he influence your decision at all to come to Lewis?
He definitely did a little bit. I mean, he influenced my decisions for a lot of things because it's the younger brother syndrome. You kind of always got to follow in your brother's footsteps. But I mean, I remember just hearing a lot of things from him about the coaches, the places, the teachers and everything, and they were awesome. And then when I came on my visit, I wanted to do the physics program, which I'm in now, and I had the teachers. I met with Dr. Crowder, who's one of the best professors, I think, in the country, especially in that. And it's a really good place to be, I think, and I like a lot of the people that are here.
So we talked about your brother. He was a big part of the team during his time here. He plays professionally now in Greece. And since he graduated, you've kind of filled his shoes, so to speak. Is that something that you were intending to do, or is that something that just kind of happened, filling that leadership role that Jay left open when he graduated?
I think it was kind of intended by Dan, actually. So it was good. And then I think it just kind of happened, like I just happened to step into the role. I don't really, I mean, it's kind of just a thing that happens as you get older, you get more wise, you get more experience, and I think it helped because I played on as a freshman and I was able to play all the years, so I think that definitely helped me get the younger guys on board really early and kind of just help the leadership role itself.
So let's talk about the teammates a little bit. What's the team chemistry like on the team?
We're a bunch of goofballs, I can tell you that. I mean, volleyball is a different world than a lot of other sports, but we definitely, we're just all nuts and just kind of crazy. If you would ever come to a practice and everything, it gets really serious, and then we've got every once in a while where something crazy happens. Like actually, Lucas, our libero, ran into a pole in practice the other day.
I saw the video of that on Facebook. Yeah,
it's a whole YouTube video. So we get some pretty crazy things at times, but it's always business first, and then we like to have a lot of fun and just kind of make everything fun.
All right, well, Greg, a couple of big games this weekend. Penn State Friday, you have Erskine on Saturday. Fans come out to watch the game. What can they expect to see?
Definitely a couple good matches, I'm hoping. So, I mean, I'm hoping that we can keep our streak going and pull out the W's on both of them.
All right, well, anything else you'd like to add while you're here today?
No, really, just come out and support, and hopefully we do some good stuff this weekend.
All right, well, thanks for joining us today, Greg.
Thank you for having me on, Shane.
Not a problem. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back here on Flyer Nation.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Several basketball teams in the GLVC clinched a spot in the championship tournament over the weekend. Let's look at the current standings for both the men's and women's basketball teams. On the men's side, the Flyers are still sitting in 4th place and have clinched a spot in the GLVC tournament. Bellarmine is still sitting in 1st place with UW Parkside just behind in 2nd. Both St. Joseph's and McKendree round out the Eastern Division and are not advancing to the GLVC tournament. On the women's side, the Flyers still sit in 1st place despite losing to Drury on Thursday night. UW Parkside and Southern Indiana are behind the Flyers and will make an appearance in the GLVC tournament. McKendree and Illinois Springfield sitting at the bottom of the division and will not play in the tournament.
The season just started for both the men's and women's tennis teams, but it's not too early to take a look at their standings. The men's team is currently sitting in 3rd place in the Eastern Division, just behind Southern Indiana and Bellarmine. McHenry and St. Joseph's haven't started their seasons yet. On the women's side, Lewis is in 4th place behind Bellarmine, Illinois Springfield, and St. Joe's. Southern Indiana and Indianapolis round out the division.
Conference play has started for the MIVA teams, including the Flyers. Let's take a look at their current position. The Flyers are sitting in 3rd place after their win against Ball State. Ohio State and Loyola still hold the top 2 positions in the conference, while Quincy and McHenry round out the conference.
Last week, the MIVA announced that redshirt senior Jeff Powell of the men's volleyball team earned their Player of the Week award. The MIVA awarded Powell after his performance in last week's games against Grand Canyon, where he picked up 30 kills and had a weekend hitting percentage of .446. Powell is the 2nd Flyer to earn this award after Greg Petty won it earlier this season.
It's time for our Flyer Nation Player of the Week award, and we'll start with Shelby Leonard of the women's swim team. Leonard came away with a 2nd place finish in the 200 backstroke over the weekend at the JLVC Championships and broke her own school record in the event. Head swim coach Roger Karn said Leonard swam hard and had a good day in the water.
Our 2nd Flyer Nation Player of the Week goes out to Ryan Jackson of the men's basketball team. Jackson helped the team this weekend when he picked up 14 points against Drury and 17 points against Missouri S&T. Jackson has helped the team throughout his 4 seasons at Lewis and has earned a leadership role on the team.
So it seems like every week, we're just talking about how all these different players are, setting NCAA provisional marks and, breaking their own records, and that's always so great to see.
Well, absolutely, especially the swim team. They started the season and said they wanted to break all of the school records that they had previously set, so good to see they're still doing that even in the championships.
Right, absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back here on Flyer Nation.
Get your ass. You're not sitting here. Yes, I am. Move! Give it to him hard! No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why are you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help, but don't know how.
Oh,
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules. You tell me to stay away from drugs. To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
If you're on campus this Friday night, be sure to come out and support your men's volleyball team when they take on Penn State. Let's take a look at the schedule. On Thursday night, both basketball teams are on the road to take on Illinois Springfield. The women play at 5:30 and the men play at 7:30. You can catch that game on lewisflyers.com. On Friday night, the Lewis men's volleyball team is at home taking on Penn State. That game will start at 7 o'clock and can be seen right here on LUTN as well as heard on our radio station, WLRA 88.1 FM. On Saturday afternoon, both basketball teams are back in action on the road against McHenry. You can catch those games on lewisflyers.com. And on Saturday night, the Lewis men's volleyball team plays Erskine at home. First serve is set for 7 p.m. and can be heard on our radio station, WLRA 88.1 FM, and seen online at lewisflyers.com.
Before we leave today, if you want to be on TV and be a part of the first live television pregame show at Lewis, be sure to come out to the Neal Carey Arena early this Friday night. The men's volleyball team takes on Penn State at 7 o'clock, but LUTN will start a pregame show live from the stands of the Neal Carey Arena at 6:30. Throughout the show, I'll talk with members of the Lewis community about the game and the team And LUTN reporter Noel Trainer will talk to fans who bring out the most interesting signs, as well as provide some insight to a few players on the men's volleyball team. Be sure to join us for LUTN Game Day Live starting a half hour before the first serve. So the LUTN Game Day Live coming up on Friday for the men's volleyball game a half hour before, so it should be pretty interesting to see how everything works out with that, and hopefully we'll get some fans out there with some really cool signs.
Right, absolutely. I am excited to see all the different signs that people are going to have. You know, Lewis has a lot of creative people, so I'm sure that they will be definitely entertaining. Absolutely. Well, hopefully they're as entertaining as the fans dress sometimes for the games. Very true. All right, well, that will do it for us this week here at Flyer Nation. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to join us next week right here on LUTN for the latest in Flyer athletics. From all of us here at Flyer Nation, have a great day.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. We beg to differ. They are snapshots that represent lasting memories, stories to be told for years to come. Our story is one pictured not just with trophies, but with diplomas, friendships, a helping hand. New chapters beginning every season. This is the story of the Great Lakes Valley Conference.